Hey everyone, I know I've done several videos on this, but it's just a topic that comes up over and over and over again. And I have to be honest, it's one of the more frustrating experiences I've had as a marketing professional is trying to really instill this concept of the financial aspect of marketing planning into business owners that we work with. So, especially in the med spa space, I think so many of you are seeing ads and talking to consultants who tell you things like stop discounting, you're cheapening your brand, don't compete on price, stop running discount ads, you're attracting the wrong clients. And these people are either completely misinformed or not looking at the actual full data set related to each strategy, or they're just not telling the truth. I don't know what to make of it at this point. But one of the more frustrating things is I understand as a practice owner, it's the thing that gets your ears perked up, right? Like our strategies rely a lot on running new patient specific discount strategies, which I'll get to in a second. And you hear consultants and you see ads and things all the time about people telling you to stop doing this, and that you're cheapening your brand and that you're throwing away money and you're giving away services for free. And no one is explaining the trade off and the mathematical financial implications of the different strategy options you have available when it comes to new client acquisition. So I wanted to just reiterate the actual cash flow implications and the growth path that you would experience when you're running a discount based strategy to acquire new patients versus trying to win strictly on reputation via your advertising campaigns, because this is a very frustrating prevalent, I think, issue in the industry. And this is one of the reasons we developed this ROI calculator. So our goal also is to attract high quality, high paying clients, but to do so at the most cost effective and efficient rate. So when we run ads that are just reputation based ads, you're just winning on reputation. You're talking about why your practice is amazing. You're talking about your providers, your reviews, you're inviting people for a consult. The trade-off that you make is you have way higher customer acquisition costs. And I'm going to explain why that is so problematic when you start forecasting growth and cash flow implications related to your marketing investment. When you use discounting strategies, you're making it easier for people that are on the fence about choosing a provider to choose you over the other options that they have available. If they've got someone that's got a great reputation and a good promo, they're going to choose that option more often than not. And that lowers your acquisition cost. And I'm going to explain why that's so important and how the mathematical implications play out here between the two strategies, because this is something I feel like nobody on the other side of this conversation wants to explain or really can even back up. So let me dive into the numbers here. When we're running a discount-based strategy, first of all, we're only doing it to attract people for the first visit with our formula. And my recommendation is that you're doing this to one of my favorite quotes that I use all the time is action changes attitude faster than attitude changes action. The best way to change the perception of a prospect is through experience. It's the reason that your local restaurant puts a buy one, get one free entree mailer in your mailbox, right? They're paying for postage, they're paying for print, design. Only a fraction of people even use the flyer. And when they do, they're giving you half your food away for free. Why are they doing that? Because they know the best way to shape perception is through experience. Same thing is true with a med spa. So I do not want these people coming back and buying at a discount in perpetuity. I'm just trying to impact the initial purchase decision so we can create a perception of our practice generated through personal experience. If I were to ask you where your favorite restaurant is, you're inevitably going to name a place you've actually been to and interacted with, not a place you've just read good things about. So let's jump into the math of these two strategies and why pushing promotional offers to the side when it comes to new patient acquisition is potentially a very big mistake and can negatively impact your cash flow. So I'm going to use an example here of a practice spending $4,000 a month on ad spend. And I'm going to say they're working with an agency. So let's just say they're working with an agency that charges a $2,000 a month retainer. They're spending $4,000 on ad spend. Let's break this down. So this is an example using a discounting strategy. And with a discounting strategy, you can see customer acquisition costs for something like Botox that are in this range of about $120. I've got some clients that are closer to $200, some clients that are under $100, closer to $60 or $70, but just a reasonable average, $120 is what you can expect with the type of strategies that we generally recommend. What that means is you're seeing 33 new clients a month. I'm going to put some assumptions here in the calculator. Those assumptions are that these people are spending on average $400 on their initial visit, and only 40% of them are good quality clients that stick around and come back for recurring service. So with those assumptions built in, spending $4,000 a month, The first month you do this, you make $13,000. After your cost of goods sold, your retainer and fees, and your ad spend, you've only netted $2,000 in positive cash flow. You've generated $13,000 in new revenue. So if you're a $100,000 a month business, now you did 113, all other things equal, that month with that $4,000 ad spend. But it's only created $2,000 in net positive cash flow because of the costs associated with acquisition and management and cost of goods. So you also project this. Let's just fast forward to the 24-month projection. This campaign has generated $700,000 in revenue and $273,000 in net profit after all costs are considered over a 24-month period. It cash flowed positive from the get-go. So you're making more money than you're spending. So your actual bank account is going up as a result of these ads from day one, and that continues to expand as your revenue grows. This is happening because you have low customer acquisition cost. You're casting a wide net, knowing that 60% of those patients aren't good patients that are going to come back for other services. And this is one of the first problems I see people run into, the perception problem. People will be seeing 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10 clients that were just coming in for the promo, and they don't like that. And so they want to change strategies, which is okay. But I want to explain the financial implications of the decisions that you're making when you do that. So if you wanted to say, hey, I don't want to see the 60% of patients that were coming in for the promo. I only want my schedule to be full of good quality patients. I'm willing to have less of them. Just want to see the good ones. That's the conversation we have with clients from time to time. Here's what happens. So now we're running what we call a know, like, and trust ad, or campaigns that are geared toward winning just on reputation with an offer for a consult. Our lead cost is going to go through the roof. So this is, again, based on real numbers that we see throughout the country, not hypothetical. So our lead cost might go from $14 to, let's say, I'm being generous here. Let's say it goes to $33. Our conversion rate, since it's just less attractive, there's not really a sense of urgency, goes down too. So now we're paying $33 for a lead. We're only converting a 9% of the leads. Now our acquisition cost went from $120 to $370. That's about what happens. It'll more than triple in our experience, your acquisition costs. So now we're only seeing good clients. Instead of seeing 33, we're only seeing 11, but they're all great clients. So like 80% of those people we're actually going to retain, right? They're phenomenal clients. And they're spending like 30% more ish on the initial visit. Instead of $400 being the initial visit, they're spending $550 on the initial visit, for example. Let's even say they're spending $600 on the initial visit. So now we're only seeing top quality clients where we have 80% retention. They're spending $600 on the average initial visit, but we're paying $370 to acquire that client. Watch what happens to our cash flow implications and our growth path. So on campaign one, we saw $700,000 in revenue growth over 2 years. This campaign has only allowed us to see $400,000 in revenue growth. So we've cut our revenue by like 40%. So we've chopped off a big chunk of revenue by excluding the wider net and just narrowing the strategy down and paying higher acquisition costs. Our net cash flow position is only $98,000 total positive net cash flow over 2 years instead of $270,000. So this decision has cost us almost $200,000 in revenue over 2 years, and we've seen about 1/3 the number of patients that we were seeing in option one. Let's talk about short-term cash flow implications. With this strategy, paying this is such a delicate balance that paying $370 in customer acquisition cost, all costs considered after cost of goods and acquisition cost, we are actually in the hole cash flow wise for 7 straight months using this strategy, right? It's not a huge number, but all costs considered, we've generated $77,000 in revenue over 8 months, but total money in, money out, we're $1,700 in the hole. So our cash flow position is $1,700 in the negative direction. Whereas on the option that we just outlined with the discounting strategy, at that same mark, we were $40,000 in positive cash flow, $144,000 in revenue, much more aggressive growth path, hundreds of thousands of dollars in difference over 24 months. So all the people that are telling you don't discount to attract new patients, it's okay. You can do that, but understand the decision that you're making. If you're busy and you only want to see these clients and you're okay with the slower growth path, you've got limited capacity, and you're okay with understanding that, hey, this aligns more with just what I want my week to look like, understand the financial implications. Because I think that nobody that says, don't discount to attract new clients, don't run promotions, win on reputation, is not telling you the full story, and they're not explaining the mathematical implications of the strategy. This episode is brought to you by MedSpa Magic Marketing, my agency. We help med spas and aesthetics practices grow with more effective marketing strategies. And I know that's a vague phrase, right? That's a vague claim. So I have an offer for you. I offer this to any new prospects. If you're interested in exploring another marketing option, a new agency, or just getting into Facebook, Instagram, Google Ads for the first time, I'd love to show you why we're different, what we're doing for clients. And we can do that via a 1.5 hour planning session where I'll outline a specific marketing plan and I'll give you all of the blueprints that we would implement if we were to do business together. Now you can take that, use that on your own, hire someone else to help you execute it, or work with us. We really don't hold anything back on that strategy call. And I think you'll have a lot of confidence in how you manage your marketing investment moving forward, understanding some of the nuances that can help you implement more effective marketing strategies for your business. So if you want to do that, you can go to medspamagicmarketing.com.